I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning into the Oreo Express. Josh here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today is Tuesday, March 4th. We get to watch together the State of the Union tonight. We got a little preview of some of the guests, highlight some of the people that will be there. It's going to be an epic night tonight. And again, we got a little preview for you. We got some other stuff going on today that we're going to cover. We got some funny protest. That's the only way I can describe it. Seems like it's not a serious protest. Seems like it's your typical Democrat Party. We're going to talk about tariffs. Tariffs take effect. And you have Canada that issued a statement. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about Trump's statement on the tariffs that Canada is wanting to impose. A lot of stuff going on here. A lot of misinformation from Democrats. There's some honesty from the Trump campaign, which we said from the beginning before he was elected. It's got to get worse before it gets better. And we're going to see some of that. It's the way you fix a torn up, dilapidated country, guys. Welcome in, everybody. Once again, happy Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see who we got in the chats really quick. We got Jan Garner. Hello, Jan. Glad you are back home safe. Cade in Texas. What's up? Nola's in the house. How are you doing, Nola? And we got Pixie and Deb V. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you would, we would appreciate it if you would click that thumbs up, give us a like, and as well as share this out to your friends, family, and neighbors, even your enemies. Shoot it on out there to your enemies, your liberal neighbor. You got their email address to trigger them a little bit. Let's get some folks educated. Fairness 2020, how are you doing? Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. We're actually going to start off with a funny today. I was watching, I was seeing some of this stuff go around the internet. And so Trump went out golfing and he was joined by Kid Rock and Elon Musk. And I guess Elon Musk was showing him Grok unhinged. I've been playing with a little bit. Honestly, Grok is probably far superior than any AI that I've used. And we used AI to do research. We do AI to get data sometimes. But Elon Musk likes to joke and have a good time. So they have a version of Grok, and it's called Unhinged. And it also will talk to you. He kind of gave a preview the other night on Joe Rogan. Don't know if you guys happen to watch that. And you can have conversations with this AI, and you can ask the AI to do some stuff. And obviously, the unhinged version is exactly what it says. Unhinged. I want you to listen to Grok Unhinged.
I have a question.
Hold on.
Why is it so fucking question?
Okay, here's Kid Rock asking Grok Unhinged a question. Oh, share screen.
I have a question. Why is it So fucking cloudy in Florida today. I would like to get some fucking sunshine because I'm a fucking badass motherfucker.
Oh, you sun-craving fat-ass motherfucker. You want to know why Florida's sky is gloomier than a hooker's asshole after a slow night? It's probably because God's up there taking a massive cloudy shit.
That's not the one I wanted to show you. Let me fast forward it. See if he talks again.
Zelensky guy in Ukraine. Why is
here
he
we go.
Hey, what's the matter with that Zelensky guy in Ukraine? Why is he such a fucking baby?
Oh, the Zelensky, that sniveling little Ukrainian bitch boy. What's his deal? Probably bawling his eyes out because his country's getting fucked harder than a greased-up twink in a prison.
I didn't realize I didn't remember my version having so many cuss words. Wow. Okay. But anyways, you get the point. They were all out having a good time. Here is a picture of them on the golf course. You even got Elon's mom out there. They were out there showing some love and showing some other stuff. Obviously, Grok Unhinged is unhinged. It's not what happened? It's not a PG-13, as we like to say here, as the Oreo Army. Check this out. One of the protests, Sesame Street workers announce intent to unionize. These people look exactly like you would expect. I don't know. I've never looked into who's behind Sesame Street. Who are these people? It says representatives of Sesame Street joined union members today in New York City after submitting a letter to the Sesame Street CEO informing her workers intended to unionize. The letter was left at a reception with flowers. About 50 employees of Sesame Street and other union reps sang songs. A security guard from Sesame Street bought her Elmo stuffed animal. Take a look at this, folks. Who the heck?
And we are here to celebrate that very momentous moment. For the first time in 55 years of this company, we have a workers' union formed. Very, very proud moment.
You all are amazing.
Sesame!
Who are we?
Sesame!
Who are we?
Sesame!
I
don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to think this looks exactly like I expected it.
so proud to be here with you all. We spend a lot of time talking about other people's children. I'm here with my child. Lyndon was 18 months old, and she didn't know I was going to call her up here for this.
Circumstance. How are you? How are you? Good to see you. Thank you.
I'm starting to believe like the PBS, publicly funded, taxpayer funded places. I'm starting to think they're just, what's the word I'm looking for? A covert operation for disability. Like these people would not be working anywhere normal. Like in the private industry, wouldn't stand a chance. Let's finish this up.
I would say. Good to see you.
We'll never be defeated. The people united. We'll never be defeated. The people united. We'll never be defeated.
I mean, you can totally tell how far left they all are.
The people united. We'll never be defeated. The people united. We'll never be.
I'm proud to be here today because we are forming a union and have demonstrated an overwhelming support for this to ensure that employees can participate in decisions that impact us.
We, as an employee, you get to participate. Either you want to be at the job you like or you find the job you like. Very similar to the country. You don't like it, you can always leave. These people are beyond. And then there was another protest. And the only way I could describe this protest in D.C., and listen to what they say, is this is the 2025 Democrat Party, guys. This is the people that say it wasn't a mandate for Trump to win all 7 states. We actually have that being told by Blinky. Blinky is back. We haven't had Blinky on for a while. She was on The View. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Let me back this up right here and take a look for yourself.
We are not okay! We are not okay!
Hold on, let me refresh it. You got to get the full. Let's see. There we go.
We are not okay! We are not okay!
This is my resistant bitch face!
This is my resistance bitch face. That's their chant.
We are not okay!
We are not okay! Walk out tonight! We are not okay! We are not okay!
This is my resistant bitch face!
This is my resisting bitch face!
I think they're getting a lot of momentum on their side. I was practically thinking of jumping off the MAGA bandwagon after I seen this. I don't know about you folks. Hopefully we didn't lose everybody because they're going over to some left-wing channel now. I mean, that is impressive. That is one of the most impressive ones I've seen so far in all this craziness that we're seeing. Now listen to this. This is great. Our good friend, one of our favorite shows. Again, why is it your favorite show? Because if you are ever depressed and you think you have the worst life, all you got to do is turn on The View and realize you're not as miserable as these folks. And today's another great episode of that.
She said, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. I disagree with you.
Yes, I do.
And I was curious, and so that's why I was curious.
I do, on the mandate, on Trump and his administration having a mandate. And we have to be super mindful and careful of this because he does not have a mandate. And what I mean by that is if you look at the numbers, just look at the facts. He won with the smallest margin of the popular vote since the 19th century. Yeah. There was no coattail, meaning that it is the House is at a razor thin, and he's on his way in the first 100 days to be the most unpopular president in their first 100 days. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is not a mandate.
In 70 years.
In 70 years.
The word man is in there.
Well, that's questionable.
But I guess the question is, does it matter if he has both houses of Congress and the White House?
It does matter because right now we have, what we're seeing in this administration is he's taking a wrecking ball to the government.
Yeah.
No, he's taking a wrecking ball to everything that's been broken and caused this government to be where it is right now. Since I was a kid, I've heard politicians promise to downsize the government, talking about how our founders created a limited government that wasn't intrusive into our lives, that their job was not to stop us from blooming, from being that small entrepreneur. Their job was not to regulate us, to tax us to death. Their job was to protect us, to ensure that nobody takes away. They're not there to grant us our constitutional rights. Our constitutional rights are God-given. They're in the Bill of Rights. But every aspect of your life is now government controlled. Every aspect. And we're not talking just a little government. We're talking an entire bloated government, which I think what Trump is doing is everything he campaigned on. If you look at the poll, and it's probably even gotten higher, is Trump doing what he campaigned on? 70%, 7 out of 10 said yes, Trump is doing what he campaigned on. You seen McMahon get confirmed yesterday as the Secretary of Education. Her job is to abolish the federal Department of Education, where billions of dollars go for no reason. They don't trickle down to your kids. They're not improving your kids. As it's been stated plenty of times on this show, we spend, 4 times the amount, and we're so much worse off than other countries that spend literally a quarter of what we do on education. And so when they say it wasn't a mandate, well, no, it was a mandate. Here's a man. You got to put everything into context. Legacy media, an arm of the Democrat Party, they lied. All the 51 spies who lied, everything you heard about Trump was negative. They tried to put him in jail. They indicted him. They investigated him. They raided his home. Everything to get the American people to say, yeah, I wouldn't vote for him. And he still wins the popular vote in all 7 swing states. This is a mandate, folks. This is a mandate. While they were running cover for Democrats like Joe Biden, and then at the end, Kamala Harris, so much so even having 60 Minutes edit the interview with Kamala to make her look just a little bit normal instead of the word salad. She refused to even speak to the press for weeks and weeks after pulling the coup on Joe Biden. We've learned now it was a coup. That Joe Biden wasn't stepping down because he was a nice guy and he wanted to help his party. All those things have came out now. And look at where we're at. Check this out. This was great. You gotta love
Republicans.
You gotta
Absolutely
love this, man. Scott Jennings. Listen to what he says over here on CNN. You got to begin to love this.
Voted for this.
Okay,
number
people
one.
do not want
2,
government waste, that's for sure. But they didn't vote for
they did.
foresters to get fired.
Look,
they didn't vote for the parks to be closed.
Look, you
veterans to be fired.
You guys keep trying to create this fantasy land where Donald Trump is not popular, where Republicans are mad.
Republicans are mad. He shut down the town halls.
Can you name a single Democrat in Congress who's more popular than Donald Trump right now?
Listen,
Answer, no.
Scott,
the reality is Republicans are so happy with this. They're not upset about it.
No,
the American people are happy about what's going on right now because for the first time in a long time, a president said, Scott, I'm actually going to reduce the size of government.
Oh, man, you see their faces and they're just not happy. That's what they want you to believe. We talked about the protesters, the Trump derangement syndrome, the Elon derangement syndrome, now going to like conservative Republican town halls so they can disrupt and get those video clips. And, oh, Trump voters are so mad at him. No, I don't think they are. I'm kind of in the MAGA group. Just in case you guys didn't know that, I'm kind of in the MAGA group a little bit. And I talk to a lot of people. I'll be wearing this shirt out today when I go run my errands. And I don't get anybody that says, man, I'm so disappointed in what he's doing. It's effing epic. Finally, they want to take down the deep state. You got to understand, most Americans don't want to live off the government. Most Americans don't just sit there and say, what can the government do for me? I don't know any that gives a crap about a scientist being fired from NOAA that's really just a climate activist that gets all these grants and everything else of your tax dollars so they can sit here and say, oh my gosh, you can't burn your fireplaces. You better not barbecue. We need to take coal stoves out of the 10 restaurants that have them in New York. Nobody's upset with that. Not one damn person. And most of the outrage, most of the people, if we go to these protests and we ask them to see how educated they are on the fact, they've been told to be upset about it. That's what the left is. They get their marching orders. And speak about marching orders, we're going to talk about marching orders and the fake news now. But it's great to see that folks are, that Democrats are trying to double down on this. They did this in 2017. It failed miserably. Hopefully, they don't come up with another COVID to try to destroy his presidency. Democrats will do everything in their power to destroy this. Like you have, I'm sure you could be a fly on the wall somewhere. And we've seen it time and time again. Democrats are rooting for foreign countries. They're not out protesting, holding the American flag, saying we love this country, we don't want it to change. No, they're out there holding Ukrainian flags. They're out there holding Mexico's flag. And yet they're saying conservatives are in bed with Putin. You don't see one of us out there propping up a Russian flag. Not going to happen. No, we want people to stop dying. We want our tax dollars not to go to the endless deaths of young men and women. How about that? Think about that for a second, Democrats, and I know you can't. How many remember this?
Las Cruces communities.
Hold on. How many remember this? Because we got another one today. Oh my gosh, I hate when it does that. Let's take a look. See if it pops up. I think it will.
Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities, the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish fake stories that simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 How many remembers that? You know, the fake news that we were sharing, all this stuff, and competing interest, competing media companies are sitting there and saying the exact same line. Well, something very similar happened today with the Democrat Party. They got their marching orders. You wonder, who gave them their marching orders? Where did this come from? Did this come from Zelensky? Let's find out. Let's take a listen.
Is getting worse. Prices of groceries.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down.
Ain't true. That's what you just saw. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are up, not down. Inflation is getting worse. Prices of groceries, gas, housing, and rent, and even eggs. Costs are all getting more expensive. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has done nothing to lower costs for you. Instead, he pardons violent criminals that beat police officers in the Capitol on January 6th. He's letting Elon Musk take a chainsaw to vital.
So that gives you an idea, but it was very similar. Let's take a look at the next one, and you won't believe how bad it is at the end. This one here, these two.
He's pardoned violent criminals.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true. That's what you just heard. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are not down, they're up. Inflation is getting worse.
So they all got their script there, and this is just great. It gets better, folks. It gets better. Let's look at this one. Now there's 5. Now there's 5.
It's not getting better. It's getting worse.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump has done nothing to lower costs for you. Instead, he pardoned violent criminals.
You see yet? This is like the Matrix, but hold on. We were up to 5. Now, how about 22?
That is the truth.
22 coming up. I think this is 22. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, guys, 22. All the same scripted message from probably a foreign leader, I'm guessing, if I had to guess, probably a foreign leader.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
All scripted, nothing original. I mean, think about how lazy that is. Let's just say it came from Hakeem Jeffries. Hey, this is what you guys need to do. Talk about this, do a 2-minute video to, and do it. Nope. I think it's coming from a foreign country. I think these people are taking orders from a foreign country, and that's where these marching orders came from. And it's so much so they were given a script. I mean, I'm not a politician, but I can promise you any given day of the Joe Biden administration, I could have done a 2-minute video on how bad that administration was, the effects that I feel, the effects that the American people feel. But here you have this 22 Democrat senators all publishing an embarrassing video that makes them look pretty bad. And it just, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Now, is this, did Putin put them up to this? Is Putin doing this to try to hurt Trump? I mean, we don't know. We don't know. And it's very interesting to see, to say the least. Really quick, guys, let me pull this up right here. Check this out. Are you ready to show your support and style? Sticker Mule has a fantastic offer just for you. For a limited time, you can grab a free Trump stickers. Yes, you heard that right, free. Whether you want to decorate your laptop, car, office space, these high-quality, durable stickers are perfect for making a statement. Just imagine how great they'll look and how they're super easy to apply. Here's how it works. Head over to stickerpack.com. That's STICKERPAC.com. Sign up and claim your free stickers and watch the fun unfold. Don't miss out on this exciting offer. Stock is limited, so act fast. Spread the word and let your voice be heard with Sticker Mule's awesome stickers. Once again, visit stickerpack.com today and grab your free Trump stickers before they are gone. Check that out. I think some of you might want a Trump sticker, right? So this came out. As we're moving on, we still got a lot to talk about. We still got the preview of tonight's State of the Union address. Take a listen to this. This says Eric Ciaramella, the whistleblower tied to Trump's 2019 impeachment, is back in the spotlight over Adam Schiff's Ukraine connection. Former diplomat Andrew Tashlenko says he was in the room when Ciaramella met with Obama and Biden to discuss Ukraine. Now, FBI Director Kash Patel, who exposed the Russia hoax, allegedly has strong feelings about Schiff's role in all this.
They met with Obama and Biden to discuss Ukraine affairs. Ciaramella was an Obama-Biden guy, and he colluded with Schiff. The implications I raise at the end of my broadcast from the White House briefing room stands today more than ever. Schiff is indeed in deep trouble. And the one person in all of Washington who knows this story inside and out is, of course, my friend and now FBI Director, Kash Patel. A man who debunked the entire Russia hoax while working as a senior aide for Congressman Devin Nunes on the House Intel Committee. Kash not only remembers, he has very strong feelings about what needs to happen to Adam Schiff.
He should be investigated
because he lied to the world about his interactions with Charmella, who is a whistleblower, and I can't stress it enough, that started a presidential impeachment.
Cash knew all this, but there was only so much he could do back then. Now that's not the case. Mark my words. Schiff will see the gallows of Cash's FBI. The political gallows, that is. So Godspeed, Cash. Director Patel, you have our full support. Is the Doge chainsaw?
So that would be interesting. We've known for a long time a lot of people that have came out either as whistleblowers or speculation or what some have called rumors about Adam Schiff. And I'm sorry, Adam Schiff is one of the slimiest. He hates America more than most of those people in the streets letting people know where ICE is going to raid next. Adam Schiff is far beyond that. And I hope and I pray that when this time comes, we get to watch it. I love Cash Patel to let me live stream those trials. Man, would I ever. So check this out. We're going to talk about some stuff that Trump put out today before we get to the tariffs and the comment he made regarding Justin Trudeau's comments. This is all federal funding will stop for any college, school, or university that allows illegal protest. Agitators will be imprisoned or permanently sent back to the country from which they came. American students will be permanently expelled or, depending on the crime, arrested. No masks. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Now, this is one of those things that I love how he says illegal protest. And the first thing that the left does is saying, oh, he don't believe in the First Amendment. This has nothing to do with First Amendment. First Amendment is to peacefully assemble, correct? Peacefully assemble. Not what we've seen over the last couple years, not what we've seen just last week at multiple colleges where officers were being assaulted, a security guard at the college was being assaulted, vandalism and damage were done inside the schools. They're literally hunting down Jews, refusing Jews to be able to go to their class. I'm sorry, you're violating someone else's civil rights. And what he means by permanently sent back from their country is our country allows a lot of people to come here on student visas. Those people go to our schools and then they go out and protest. They work with the Marxists and the commies to try to destroy what we have here in America. Donald Trump wants to put an end to it, and I love it. I think this is long overdue. I think, once again, the no masks, that's because, like, we covered that last week. I think 3 days we've covered protests last week where we showed you they all stormed in, which is breaking in, storming into the Capitol. They all stormed into this college, going past locked doors, going past security telling them not to enter. That's not the First Amendment. And guess what? They sat in there with all their masks on, all covered up, demanding things from the school. And again, they were disrupting students that wanted to learn, students that actually have to pay for college on their own. Many of these people we learned are just activists. When we had UCLA and San Diego, many of the people arrested 45 years old, just a Marxist. And we've had professors involved. Let's get them out too. I think this is going to be a big start. And again, I love this because it's just stacking the deck. How much time are Democrats going to put on this right now? How much time do they have? I mean, they're making sure Elmo's unionized for Sesame Street. This is huge. And then again, let me show you the fear mongering. This was from Retard Carl. That's what I'll call him. He is going to make it illegal for anybody to protest. And when we finally do, he will declare martial law. Yes, that's what fascists did in the 1930s and 1940s. Retard Carl doesn't understand that we literally had a federal government that weren't just not allowing us to protest. But they were literally communicating with Meta and Twitter to silence you. The government using the FBI, weaponizing the FBI as a form to censor you, which is a violation of your First Amendment. This right here saying you can't have illegal protests. You can't break into something. You can't assault people. You can't block traffic. That's another one. You can call it civil disobedience. You can call it what you want. But when it becomes illegal, and we know there's a lot of agitators at these protests, and we know that the way that these protests have helped the Marxist and the communist is through threats and intimidation, where teachers and professors can't speak up. Any employee that speaks up against them, what happens to them? Oh, they were removed. They were terminated. They didn't agree with this jihadist radical that supports Hamas coming in here. I think over the next 4 years, there's going to be a lot of FAFO moments, and I'm excited about it. I really am. Like, my blood pressure gets up right now. Like, put me into that college. Just let me just say, hey, whatever you got to do, just keep them out. Send me to any college in this country. Let's play ball. Because I am sick and tired of these cockroaches that go and hate this country more than you can imagine. Absolutely hate this country. Play the victim every chance they get while trying to destroy others' education, by trying to destroy this country, by really destroying your freedoms. We've seen it plenty of times before. That's why they hated the patriot groups like the Proud Boys, because the Proud Boys would go out there and ensure in many places there was First Amendment rights when the far left came out to attack and intimidate older folks that were coming out to show their support for America, just like they did in Sacramento. And that's why they were such a threat to the Marxists. Check this out. So Trump's tariff takes effect today, or last night at 12:01 a.m.
As of this morning, markets. I want to speak.
So listen to Trudeau here, what he has to say.
I want to speak first directly to the American people. We don't want this. We want to work with you as a friend and ally. And we don't want to see you hurt either. But your government has chosen to do this to you. As of this morning, markets are down, and inflation is set to rise dramatically all across your country. Your government has chosen to put American jobs at risk, at the thousands of workplaces that succeed because of materials from Canada or because of consumers in Canada, or both. They've chosen to raise costs for American consumers on everyday essential items like groceries and gas, on major purchases like cars and homes, and everything in between. They've chosen to harm American national security, impeding access to the abundant critical minerals, energy, building materials, and fertilizers that we have and that the United States needs to grow and prosper. They've chosen to launch a trade war that will, first and foremost, harm American families. They've chosen to sabotage their own agenda that was supposed to usher in a new golden age for the United States. And they've chosen to undermine the incredible work we've done together to tackle the scourge that is fentanyl, a drug that must be wiped from the face of the earth. So on that point, let me be crystal clear. There is absolutely no justification or need whatsoever for these tariffs today.
I think it's interesting. how the main reason for these tariffs was because of the hundreds of thousands of people that are dying from fentanyl, that are coming in through our northern border, that are coming through our southern border. And when Trump said this, and you might disagree with me, it was like a plea for help. He was elected. He's met with mothers, brothers, and sisters who lost their 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old child to fentanyl. It's pennies to pick up fentanyl because the supply is so massive. And then you have a lot of Democrat-controlled states that you want to do fentanyl? Here, do you need a needle or a spoon? How do you want to do that? You want a straw to smoke it with? And Trump had had enough. And so he gives these people an opportunity. They're coming through your countries. You want to do something? Do it. If not, there's going to be a tariff. And it's pretty sad that even the left and all these people that's pushing out propaganda, yeah, you know what? We might get some price increases. We actually have a video through that. We've talked about that for months, that when it comes to repairing something, you might have to hit some hard times first. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I've hit some hard times over the last 4 years. And so Justin Trudeau announced this as well. The moment U.S. tariffs came into effect this morning, so did the Canadian response. Canada will be implementing 25% tariffs against $155 billion of American products, starting with $30 billion worth of goods immediately and the remaining $125 billion in 121 days' time. Now, they might not know who they call this a trade war. They're the only ones making this a war right now. Again, I promise you, Trudeau, Mexico, China come to the table and said, we're doing everything we can. Mexico says, hey, you know what? Bring some of your great people, your military in there. Start helping us get rid of these fentanyl labs. Help us do this. And you know what? We care about America. We love America. We don't want to see your children dying. No, has that happened? No, hasn't happened. But what Trump did say to this tariff is, please explain to Governor Trudeau of Canada that when he puts a retaliatory tariff on the U.S., our reciprocal tariff will immediately increase by a like amount. Now, we've talked about this. Trump has talked about this, reciprocal tariffs. And I thought it was beautiful to actually put these on because Democrats are saying, oh, we can't put a tariff on this country, even though they have us tariffed at 30, 40%, right? We want to give welfare to these people. We don't want our products and your hard blood, sweat, and tears to be able to be exported to these countries. No, that would be fascist. So what Trump say? We'll do a reciprocal one. We want equality, if you will. You want to put 20% on us? We're going to just do a reciprocal tariff, 20% on you. We love you. We love doing business with you, but we need to be fair. And that's what Trump is stating here, that when he puts on a retaliatory tariff on the U.S., a reciprocal tariff will immediately increase by the like amount. Again, guys, our country's been such in a bad spot. It's funny listening to these Democrats that like all of a sudden the economy got bad now when every week we covered all the businesses that were shutting down, all the layoffs that were going on, whether it was CNN, whether it was Starbucks, whether it was, whatever restaurant it was. This restaurant's closing 35 stores under Joe Biden. Not once did they bleep. Not once. Why was it? Oh, I get it. It's all partisan. They're all part of the same game. And now you have a president in there that understands business. That's actually is the one running the country, unlike Joe Biden. And now you have them upset. I find it absolutely insane. And don't forget, tonight, probably around 5:30, we should be live again, which, let me give you an idea. So in about 5 hours, a little less than 5 hours, we'll be live again. We will be hosting the State of the Union address. We want you to join us on here. We want to say thank you for you joining us on here. Check this out. Basint, he was picked by President Donald Trump, and people are like, oh, listen to what he's saying. Again, the Republican Party being honest with you. Take a listen to
in the
this.
middle of a transition, and just like
so when you talk about, so do you think prices might go up initially, or do you think that in a few months we'll be seeing more companies moving manufacturing back like Honda promised to do yesterday?
Well, right, there's going to be a transition period, but I will tell you, on the China tariffs, China's business model is export, 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 and that's unacceptable. They're in the middle of a financial crisis right now that they're trying to export their way out of it. So with the China tariffs, I am highly confident that the Chinese manufacturers will eat the tariffs. Prices won't go up. With Canada and Mexico, I think we're in the middle of a transition, and just like you mentioned, Honda moving to Indiana is a great start.
So tell me about the so when you talk
so
about,
listen to what he says. He doesn't deny.
Up?
He doesn't deny that there might be an impact to your pricing. Now, what we hear, and I just want to show you the contrast here. What did we hear when Democrats were forcing, when Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act? We sat here on this show for weeks telling you it's going to create inflation. We're going to have some of the highest inflation we've seen in our lifetimes. We were called liars, fake news, everything else. What happened when Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking person for that vote? We got an average of like 10% inflation. Your prices went up month after month after month and continued to go up. They were still going up when Trump took office. Any inflation is a price increase. When they say, oh, we got it down to 2.9%. So let me just give you an idea of how that works for the retards in the back, because this is starting to frustrate the hell out of me. When you sit here and you think that everything that is going on could have been preventable 4 years ago. We wouldn't have to take such drastic measures. If something costs $100 and you have 2.9% inflation, that now in April, just giving you an example, is $102.90, because that's how much it went up, 2.9%. People don't seem to understand that. So your food was still going up. There's no magical thing when you spend that many billions of dollars, when you send that many billions of dollars to Ukraine, when you're just spending, there's no magical way to say, oh, we're going to take it down to deflation, negative inflation, to where your cereal that's now what? On average, from what I've seen, $5.99 a box. It used to be $3.99 a box when Trump left office. There's no way to make that $4.99 or $3.99 overnight. And people just don't get it. What else do we got here? So we played this the other day, and I just got to show you again. When people say Trump's way of doing things doesn't work, I'm like, who are these people talking to? Remember this? Showed you yesterday, the day before. Let's see, today's Tuesday. I showed you yesterday. It says, this is the worst statement that could have been made by Zelensky, and America will not put up with it for much longer. It is what I was saying. This guy doesn't want there to be peace as long as he has America backing, and Europe. In the meeting they had with Zelensky, stated flatly that they cannot do the job without U.S. Probably not a great statement to have been made in terms of showing strength against Russia. What are you thinking? And that comment was, Ukraine, Zelensky says, end of war with Russia very, very far away. So Trump was asked if he was going to cut off some of that funding to Zelensky. And this is the Associated Press article. President Trump orders pausing of U.S. military aid for Ukraine after disastrous Oval Office meeting, pressuring Zelensky on Russia talks. So, wow. I heard Democrats saying, oh, these are our allies. Trump is Putin's puppet, all these stupid talking points that, again, are just like, I mean, think about the same party of Black Lives Matter that supported defunding the police and then wonder why their crime is outrageous and people are fleeing the cities. And then guess what happened? Wow, this was from earlier today. This is from Vladimir Zelensky himself. I would like to reiterate Ukraine's commitment to peace. How fast that happens when the USA cuts off your piggy bank, huh? None of us want an endless war. Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiation table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than Ukrainians. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. I'm just laughing because I listen to these Democrats for on and on. Oh, Zelensky's not going to do this. Look at Trump. Oh, man, Trump's a Russian dictator and all this. All we wanted was peace. We wanted to stop funding a war. We wanted to stop the death of innocent civilians. Let me read that one more time. I would like to reiterate Ukraine's commitment to peace. None of us want an endless war. Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiation table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than Ukrainians. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get peace that lasts. Now, they are saying this isn't enough. I don't think it's enough. You just made a comment. Have you apologized to my country, my president, and my VP for the way you acted in the Oval Office? If not, let's see what happens. Again, there should be an amount of respect given to the country that's been your piggy bank. And so we're going to follow this through and see how it happened. It says, we are ready. Let me read the rest of it because there's more stuff. We are ready to work fast to end the war, and the first stages could be the release of prisoners and truce in the sky, ban on missiles, long-range drones, bombs on energy and other civilian infrastructure, and a truce in the sea immediately, if Russia will do the same. Then we want to move very fast through all the next stages and work with the USA or the United States to agree to a strong final deal. We do really value how much America has done help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. And we remember the moment when things changed, when President Trump provided Ukraine with javelins. We are grateful for this. Remember when Trump called them out in the meeting, says, I gave you javelins. Says our meeting in Washington at the White House on Friday did not go the way it was supposed to be. It is regrettable that it happened this way. It's time to make things right. We would like future cooperations and communications to be constructive. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time and in any convenient format. We see this agreement as a step forward, greater security and solid security guarantees, and truly hope it works effectively. Yeah, Trump don't know what he's doing. Zelensky was trying to call a bluff like somehow Trump was going to bow down to him in the Oval Office. I think these people, and again, this sends a very good message to other world leaders who want to FAFO, whether it's China, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Russia, that guess what? We will not play your game. We will not play your game. So this will be interesting how this moves forward. I was reading that right there, and no offense, but to the guys in the chat right now that knows women don't know how to apologize. Women are always right. Trust me. 21 years, I know women are always right. But I was reading this and it kind of reminded me of one of those letters that somebody would send that was somewhat of an apology and then goes into, yeah, I was completely wrong in everything I did. That was just great. That was just great. And again, I hope we can make the deal with Ukraine. I don't want Russia and Ukraine fighting. I think both countries are crap, and not the people of those countries, but the leadership of both those countries is absolutely crap. Some people get upset when I say the same thing about Israel. I love Israel. I pray for Israel. It says so in my Bible. It doesn't mean I support the leader of Israel right now. So funny how they put everybody in this little bubble. Oh, this is a MAGA guy. No, you don't even know what MAGA is. Trina's in here. Sugar Bear's in here. Pixie's in here. Don't cuss, Pixie. So check this out. This was one video we'll show you really quick, and we are going to be covering it live tonight. And we got some. I want this thing go. You know what? We'll get rid of that one, and we'll go to the next one's better anyways. So this was press secretary on Fox News talking about the State of the Union tonight. The State of the Union, which will be epic. A lot of people are going to be watching, and I hope you're on here with me. And just in case you're on here with me, and we are watching the State of the Union, and something's happening somewhere else on another live stream, don't mention it. We work hard to get all this stuff done, and we don't want people running out of the chats. Press secretary previews this. Take a listen. This is going to be epic.
Speech itself, there's going to be some special guests, some of which you can reveal.
Yeah.
Looks like the First Lady will have a big roster, including Stephanie Diller.
Yes.
And that is one of the themes. People, law enforcement whose spouses lost their lives in the line of duty.
Yeah, the First Lady will be in attendance tonight, and the guest list that she put together and President Trump put together is phenomenal. There will be everyday American heroes in attendance. Stephanie Diller, whom you mentioned, who lost her husband in the line of duty at the hands of an illegal immigrant. You have Mark Fogel, who, of course, because of President Trump's peace through strength efforts, were returned from Russian captivity. Corey Comparator, who lost his life protecting his family in Butler, Pennsylvania. You'll also have an auto worker. You'll have a steel worker, and you will see exceptional Americans with great stories. President Trump will be telling their stories.
Right. I know you mentioned Elon Musk will be there.
Yes.
Staff advisors will be there. The secretaries will be there. You also mentioned there's special guests.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave me the idea that perhaps you might weaken and tell me who those surprise guests are. Have you decided if you're going to tell me?
I have decided I am not going to tell you. I will let President Trump tell the country later. But there are going to be some very special guests that the president will reveal in his speech. And I also want to mention there will be the mothers of Jocelyn Nungare and Laken Riley, who will be in attendance tonight, who, of course, lost their daughters at the hands of illegal migrant immigrants. And that's what part of the reason President Trump is working so hard on these deportations, and why Congress and Democrats need to get on board with this effort.
So, this is just epic. It's going to be epic. We got a list we'll go through here also with some names that she didn't mention, I think. Where did I put it? Let me put this up, and then we'll talk about Democrat plans for tonight. Well, you know what? I'm just going to get into it really quick. So, the jihadist Ian Omar is going to be inviting a fired federal employee. And we'll get into some other stuff here in a minute, but check it out. Meet the special people who will join the First Lady and President Trump at the U.S. Capitol when President Trump delivers his address to a joint session of Congress. These men, women, and families come from all different walks of life with incredible stories about the disaster wrought by the previous administration and the historic achievements President Trump has already enacted to usher in the golden age of America. Elliston Berry from Aledo, Texas. Elliston is a 15-year-old who is the victim of a computer-generated deepfake created by a bully at her school intended to humiliate and degrade Elliston and her friends. Now, that has to do with our First Lady. She did a press conference yesterday on deepfakes and doing something about them, so that was one of those. The Comparator family of Sarver, Pennsylvania. Helen, Allison, and Kaylee are the widow and the daughters of Corey Comparator, a firefighter who was killed by a gunman who also shot President Trump during a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania in July 2024. That is awesome news. Let's put this like this. Jeff Denard of Decatur, Alabama. Jeff has spent nearly 3 decades working at a steel plant owned by Nucor Steel. His good-paying middle-class job at the steel plant has allowed Jeff to serve as volunteer firefighter, provide a loving home to dozens of foster children, and organize his fellow steelworkers to respond to natural disasters, including Hurricane Helene. Stephanie Diller from Long Island, New York. Stephanie is the widow of Jonathan Diller, a New York PD officer who was murdered at a traffic stop in Queens in March 2024 by a repeat criminal who is allowed to roam the streets. Haley Ferguson from Spring Hill, Tennessee. Haley is a former foster child, a senior at Middle Tennessee State University, majoring in elementary education, and a Fostering the Future scholarship recipient, which was launched by the First Lady's organization, Be Best. Mark and Malphine Fogel from Butler, Pennsylvania. Mark is an American history teacher who was held hostage by the Russian government and wrongfully sentenced to 14 years in Russian prison. On February 12th, President Trump fulfilled his promise to Malphine, Mark's 95-year-old mother, that he would bring Mark home. January Littlejohn from Tallahassee, Florida. January is the mother and parents' rights advocate who sued the school board of Leon County after school officials at her daughter's middle school socially transitioned her daughter to a different sexual identity without January and her husband's knowledge or permission. Says the school drove a wedge between January's daughter and her parents and deceived January about their covert plans to transition her daughter. Peyton McNabb from Murphy, North Carolina. Peyton is a former high school athlete who had her dreams of competing in college sports crushed in September 2022 volleyball match when a biological man playing on the opposing women's team spiked the volleyball at Peyton's face, leaving her with traumatic brain injury. Peyton joined with the Independent Women's Forum and has made it her mission to put an end to this brutal unfairness. Allison and Lauren Phillips of Woodstock, Georgia. Allison and Lauren are the mother and sister of Laken Riley, a young female nursing student who was murdered by an illegal alien during a morning jog. The Biden administration apprehended and released Laken Riley's murderer into the country under its reckless open border policies. The very first bill President Trump signed into law this year was named in Laken's honor. Alexis Nungary from Houston, Texas. Alexis is an angel mom and the mother of Jocelyn Nungary, a 12-year-old girl who was murdered by 2 illegal aliens during a walk to a corner store. The Biden administration apprehended and released these vicious illegal aliens into the country just weeks before Jocelyn's murder. And Robert Ortiz of Velasco, Texas. Robert has served with the U.S. Border Patrol for nearly a decade and is a veteran of the U.S. Navy and California State Guard. He has been shot at repeatedly by cartel members while performing his duties near the Rio Grande River in Texas. I think you guys know that this isn't going to be politically correct today. This is going to be correct, and Trump's going to go full blast. Democrats are going to lose their absolute mind. All right, hold on 1 second for my dog lovers up there, for my animal lovers. If you have a dog, we've all been there. Our pup goes from, I like pug. Our pup goes from full of energy to sick and miserable in an instant and at the worst times. Then we're calling the vet in the middle of the night or on the weekends trying to find a clinic that will take us in. It's a terrible way to manage your dog's health, not to mention your stress levels and your monthly budget. That's why people are getting the Pet Emergency Kit by Positive. It contains critical medications and supplies that can not only keep you out of the veterinary office, but may even save your dog's life. Their kit contains critical medications like activated charcoal, septic powder, and more. It might save your dog's life. Head over to positive.com. That's PAWSITIVE and use promo code STUDIO to get 15% off your pet emergency kit. Go check that out, guys, over at positive.com. Use code STUDIO for that discount. What else do we got today? Well, we're going to talk about it. I just told you jihadist Ian Omar is going to bring a guest, and that guest is going to be a fired federal employee. Look at what it says. Report, several congressional Democrats are planning to disrupt Trump's speech to Congress tonight by using a variety of tactics, including noisemakers, hand clappers, signs, eggs, and walkouts. That is credit from Axios. Who remembers this? This is beautiful. Who remembers this? War criminal. So we're going to have a lot to see tonight and probably a lot to go over after it's all said and done. After it's all said and done. We'll have to see how that works out, won't we? So yesterday, they're also going to be doing something else, and I'll tell you after this. Yesterday, Senate Democrats voted to block the bill protecting girls and women from men invading their sports. Not one single Democrat, folks, voted for this bill. There's a lot of outrage right now. There's a lot of people that I see that are from the country. I looked at one of the senators in somewhat of a purple area, I believe, in Georgia, and I was looking at some of the local newspapers there that I think would usually have a larger outcry from the left, and it was a lot of people that seemed to be conservative saying, I'm not voting for this guy again. So I don't know, but here's that video from
yeas
yesterday.
Are 51. Yeas are 51 and the nays are 45. 3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn having voted in the affirmative, the motion is not agreed to.
So they couldn't agree on keeping men out of women's sports when I tell you they've doubled down on the same policies and same stances that even Democrats now saying the Democrat Party has walked away from me. The radical stances like this, they're doubling down on it. Doubling down. So we're going to see. What's up, old Uncle Bill? Check that out. Have a great day, old Uncle Bill. Be safe in the travels, bud. And just think about that. They kept men in women's sports, essentially. And it says, when you see Democrats, this is from Senator Mike Lee, wearing pink for the TV cameras tonight, remember that 45 of them voted for men to invade women's sports just yesterday. It's all an act. And this was Time magazine says exclusive. Dozens of Democrat congresswomen plan to wear pink to Trump's joint address to Congress. Remember when they all wore white that time? We covered the, oh my God, these people. You know what's funny is obviously, and I know I can't find this on the streets, even from the farthest left people. I can go find people that hate the immigration thing, that hate this, that hate even tariffs, but I can say, has he done anything right? And somebody will say, well, I can name some things off, and they would agree to it. But not their elected representatives. Their elected representatives don't seem to give any kudos or anything to these people. Now, this, I don't know how much I'm going to have to look into this, but we've been covering the electricity rates in California, the people that Gavin Newsom put on there. Remember, we got 6 energy increases last year, and now Democrats are acting outraged. Well, I seen it on local news today. Those folks that have solar are now going to be impacted. Gavin Newsom has told the public utility, the CPUC, the California Public Utilities Commission, to find ways to reduce electricity costs statewide. Now, the CPUC has proposed a controversial measure that could penalize homeowners who have invested in solar power. We told you this would happen, and I'm not against solar power. If I could have afforded it, I would have afforded it. And when you got it, they said, this is how it's going to work. This is how we're going to do things. Let me see if this video's up here because I just found it amazing. I just found it amazing when I watched this. Take a listen. Let me pull this up. I'll probably have a...
accident can shatter your world. But at Jacoby & Myers, we want to help you get back to where you were before. Taking on insurance companies, hospital bills, medical care, whatever you need to get back to the life you love. Jacoby & Myers, because everyone deserves justice.
Went and invested in soldiers.
Governor Newsom's marching orders to the California Public Utilities Commission is to find a way to cut electricity costs statewide. Fox 26 reporter Rich Rodriguez explains one of its solutions would now penalize most homeowners who invested in solar power.
The 35-page report responding to Governor Newsom's order to reduce electricity costs inflicts pain on solar customers. The California Public Utilities Commission wants to reduce compensation for legacy solar customers. You are part of the legacy if you installed a solar system before April 2023.
I personally think that this is, it's blind, it's a blind side, really. I mean, customers aren't aware, customers were told when they purchased this that it was going to be a certain way and they were going to have certain benefits over a certain time period.
According to Solar Energy Industries Association, California has 14.5 million homes with solar panels on their roofs. The CPUC report claims legacy solar customers are not paying their fair share of fixed costs associated with distribution and transmission of power. It believes regular energy users are subsidizing those costs. It's estimated they pay as much as $400 extra per year. Hafen considers the PUC's conclusion a big contradiction.
They want to push green energy, right? That's, we're one of the leaders in the entire United States for green energy. And so I don't know why, you're going to go pick on the people that already invested into it.
Savings from solar would be reduced dramatically, Haven says, if the CPUC's recommendation is approved. He says solar negotiators will fight to make sure solar users don't have to shoulder the cost to bring electricity rates down. Rich Rodriguez.
So I'll finish that here in a second to see what else they say. But we covered this. We've covered this extensively. You that didn't invest in solar have been funding solar. Some would say up to, 30% of your bill is subsidizing solar. And now they have to, so when my bill's $300, I wish. Let's go $400. 120 of that is going to subsidize solar. So now they're going to have to lower my bill because that's what Gavin Newsom said needs to happen after it's went up like 26% in a year and a half. And what are they going to do? They're going to say, listen, guys, the people that don't have solar anymore, and I knew this was going to happen. They've been panicking for a long time. We don't have the energy infrastructure in California. We've wasted all our money on a bogus high-speed rail project instead of worrying about the impact on needing electricity for a growing economy, for more electric cars, all these things that we want to do. And now they're going to be, they told people, my friends and neighbors that have solar, that purposely bought before that deadline. They said, this is how it works. This is how much you're going to get paid for excess energy, blah, blah, blah. This is what it's going to be. And guess what happened? There's no more money in the piggy bank. Gavin Newsom has finally been exposed when it comes to the what people are paying in the state of California for gas and electric. And so now what they're going to do is they're going to penalize those people that they said, hey, do this if you want to keep your interest rates low. Here's how much it'll cost you. Here's what it'll be about. They never told those people, but here's what we're going to do. Your neighbors that don't have solar, they're going to be paying for a percentage of your solar. And none of us knew either. I didn't know I was going to be subsidizing solar. Not much I can do about it. Where can I get gas and electric from? There's no competition in the market. Let me finish this off because this is absolutely insane. Those with solar should be outraged.
Fox 26 News.
And if you'd like to read the Public Utilities Commission's response to Governor Newsom's executive order, we have a link on our website, kmph.com. Now, earlier tonight, pursuant to our request, we received this statement from the Coalition of California Utility Employees. According to the independent CPUC public advocate, electricity customers that don't have rooftop solar paid $8.5 billion in 2024 to subsidize solar corporations.
So listen to this. According to the independent CPUC public advocate, electricity customers that don't have rooftops solar, so I don't have solar, paid $8.5 billion in 2024 to subsidize solar corporations.
Consumer advocates, independent regulators, environmental organizations, and leading energy experts have all identified subsidies to solar corporations as a key driver of higher electricity bills for all consumers. If California wants to get serious about affordability, equity, and the high cost of living, it can address this unfair burden by eliminating solar corporations' subsidies, creating an immediate 15% reduction.
15% reduction in electricity bills. But who's going to pay that? That means the people that paid $20,000, $18,000, $16,000 for their solar, those people are now going to be on the hook. Those people are now going to be on the hook. And again, it is a bait and switch. I feel bad for the solar customers, but I feel bad for me and everybody else that don't have solar that's subsidizing the solar industry. And we knew this would happen. That's why subsidies don't work out. That's why, again, somebody has to pay for it in the end. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And I love this. Just want to bring some funnies along. But before we do that, let me do this right here. We got one more for you before the time limit expires. Let's see. Let me hit it here. Oh, never mind. It won't let me do it. Trump is trying to destroy the agency that, listen to this, that supports children with disabilities and low-income schools. That's not just cruel, it's stupid. Thanks to the AFT union and Randy Weingarten for standing up and fighting for our kids. Randy Weingarten hasn't done anything to help protect our kids. I just find this amazing. And she shared this. Take a look at this. Come on, open up. This is Randy Weingarten. Our Protect Our Kids Day of Action. Gutting public education to give tax cuts to billionaires would deny opportunities to children, including students with disabilities and kids living in poverty. I'm proud of our members for speaking out. Absolute lie. None of that money, none of the education money is given to billionaires. Actually, it's flowing back to the states, and not all of it. Why? Because the billions of dollars it costs to run the Department of Education is going to be taxpayers save money. The 2% that the federal government might give to Clovis, or the 8% it gets to Fresno, they're going to get that 8% without the middleman in the way. That cost us billions of dollars. The middleman was costing us money. This is the same people that are fighting to keep pornography in your schools, folks. The same people that are fighting for teachers to keep secrets from parents when a student comes to class with a mental health concern or gender dysphoria. And no. We talked about it at the State of the Union address tonight. President Trump will have a family there where the school went behind the family's back to transition the child. It does happen. It's happening. There is a lot of indoctrination. We show you all the time. Follow Libs of TikTok. Those are actual real stories. Those are actual stories that are happening in areas like yours. But I just think it's funny. These are the same people that said, we just had COVID. We're not going to go back in the classroom and teach these kids unless we get more money. Right there, they should have been terminated. Anybody that decided that and said, if you were really here for the kids, you wouldn't be holding them hostage after the year and a half of what they just went through. And this is what we are eliminating. I can't wait. What a day to celebrate when the Department of Education is completely defunded. So this was on Capitol Hill. Check this out. We've covered the border and covered a lot of stuff extensively. I think we were actually in El Paso, Texas, when they announced the CBP One app, or we might have been on our way back from El Paso, Texas. You know, they wanted to create ways where independent journalists couldn't film the invasion going on. So they started flying illegals in. They started giving an app on their phone with no background checks, telling them, come to the port of entry, show our border patrol this. Listen to this.
Certain that they Can you speak to how the Biden administration used technology to facilitate the invasion of illegal aliens into the country?
Yes, ma'am. For one, CBP One app, I believe, was definitely misused by the Biden administration to allow people to come in. And that was one technology that was developed out of something that it shouldn't have been used for. I think it was a go around Congress to allow people to enter the United States. And we've seen a lot of those cases that have entered on the CBP One app show up as criminal aliens, in the arrests that we've made.
How's the app used?
How is it used?
Yeah, how's it used to do that?
Well, what we've seen, especially the fraud from that, is that the cartels were actually using it down in Mexico and having people sign up through them to then get on the CBP One app and get around, being able to go through. So the cartels were actually making money off of the CBP One app.
That's insane. Dr. Gilman.
Yeah, I echo everything that my counterpart just said. I don't have as much experience with the CBP One app, particularly because my focus was with HSI and primarily on criminal investigations. But even within HSI, we saw the misuse of the CBP One app by those subjects that we did encounter, oftentimes subjects of criminal investigations.
The cartels using CB One app to get people into this country illegally. And we know this. We know this, and we allowed it to happen. Mr. Hanklinson?
In terms of numbers, that nothing is more extreme than CBP One. There was also the programs for specific countries, which obviously had to use technology to enroll people in the first place. There was a lot of diversion there was some diversion of ICE money to programs like the case management pilot program and the young adult case management program, I think it was, that were essentially providing social services instead of enforcement operations. And
Social services instead of enforcement of our border. Using the CBP One app to get rich. That's what the cartel was doing, folks. That's what the cartel was doing. I love this right here. John Fetterman was one of those senators who voted, people, and I told you guys this a long time ago, people were like, oh, John Fetterman's waking up. He's doing this. No, he's doing whatever way the wind's blowing. He was one of those that voted against keeping men out of women's sports yesterday. And today, I think he wanted some kudos. So he posted this. This is when we became the party for chaos, talking about Democrats. Telling people to invalidate their eyes or experiences, and we lose. Equivalent size of Pittsburgh showing up every month at our border was true chaos. He didn't say this then. He didn't say this this month. But he shared this graph. And again, when you're getting 300,000 per month, 250,000 per month, 260,000 per month, 360,000 per month. And now he wants to say, telling people to invalidate their eyes or experiences, and we lose. And he said, this is when we became the party of chaos. You've been a party of chaos long before the border, bud. But a nice try in trying to get back over there to the left middle after you just voted to keep men in women's sports in the Senate yesterday. And then he put some crappy tweet out about it.
Thanks for
Listen to this. Tom Homan. Let's see what Tom Homan has to say here.
To the sanctuary city mayors, what would you say to them?
Well, look, I met with the House Republicans yesterday and went over sanctuary cities and the dangerous sanctuary cities. Sanctuary city mayors are going to say this. We're a sanctuary city, we're a welcoming community because we want victims and witnesses of a crime to feel comfortable coming to the police and report a crime as a victim witness without worried we're working with ICE. That is a false narrative because victims and witnesses of crime do not want the bad guy back in the community. They would much rather this person be taken in custody of ICE after the county's done with them. That's the message. Sanctuaries are sanctuary criminals. And as far as the mayor of Boston saying safe a city, well, I know 9 children that would disagree with her. 9 parents, sets of parents whose children were sexually assaulted, raped by people who are not supposed to be here in the country legally. So we're going to provide real examples of people that they released from custody in these sanctuary cities that ICE took a lot of time to find these people and take them off the streets. And who knows how many children were attacked by these people between the time the county released them and ICE was able to find them, because sometimes it takes months. So we're going to present real life situations on real victims of real illegal immigration crime.
Remember, we had a couple mayors reported yesterday, a couple mayors that will be having to testify on Congress this week. And that Boston mayor is one of them. People say,
we learned that both suspects came to the U.S. from
news article. Here, let me put this one up.
The suspects appeared in a court. That's where we learned that both suspects came to the U.S. from other countries and have had similar charges in other states.
Virtually, both Ronnie Suarez and Saul Ramirez Guevara appeared in front of a Chatham County judge. Cameras were not allowed to record the session where the judge denied bond to both men accused of kidnapping and trafficking a Siler City teen.
These people, they know how to manipulate the young. And once they can get them to the point of where they're dependent on them, then they've kind of got them.
The judge believes both men are public threats who would be inclined to run.
The suspects appeared in a court.
Thanks to Biden's open borders. Again, we're going to be feeling the effects for a long time, but Democrats are actually out defending all this stuff. Check this out, guys. Let's see here. In today's society, it's tough to be a man in a world dominated by overly masculating liberal women. That's just not how it's meant to be. Everywhere we look, it's gender neutral. This product made for her, that product. This is why we started a company that embodies the ethos of men's lives matter too. With products that aren't designed to be gender neutral, are used by people with pronouns. Our products at Rumble are designed and built for men by men, period. So if you struggle with your low energy, mood swings, or hair loss, if you need to perform better at the gym, maybe in bed, and recover quicker after, throw out all your other garbage supplements and try animal organs. They are traditionally the most nutrient-rich supplement on the planet, but our bison organs are a step above. The grass-fed, non-vaccinated bisons are a species where the weak are allowed to die and only the strong survive. So here's our commitment to you. From men who have real confidence in their products, try this today, and if you don't like it, fine. Return it for a refund. Go to Be Naked, that's BENAKED.com, BeNaked.com, code studio, and get 15% off. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Oh, you know what else went on to the stories today? Check this out. This was from Laura Logan. It says, breaking Trump administration signals settlement in Ashley Babbitt's wrongful death lawsuit brought against U.S. government by Ashley's family. That was by Jim Hoff at the Gateway Pundit. That's fine. I want to see a settlement. I want to see that, but I also want to see justice. And money is not justice. So this is a good step forward. This is a great step forward. Now we go after the officer that murdered her. I hope all those family members get taken care of by the federal government for sure. Let's see. I think that's... Let me see if there's anything else before we head out. I'm sure there was something breaking. It's the middle of the day. Cory Booker replied to Elon Musk. We showed you at the beginning of the thing that 22 videos of Democrats all on the same talking points, probably talking points they got from Putin, right? Saying the exact same words about Trump, how he's lied in the economy and the border and January 6th. And Elon Musk put out there, it says, now we're up to 22 Dem senators all doing the same cringe video simultaneously. I will buy a Cybertruck for anybody that could provide proof of who wrote this particular piece of propaganda. First person to post proof in the replies to this post gets the truck. And Cory Booker goes, clearly you are triggered by the truth. It was me. Keep your truck. Aha, Cory Booker's triggered. Cory Booker's trigger. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, and this yesterday, I think we posted it on X. If you guys follow us on X at Oreo Express, Pam Bondi did say that she received a truckload of Epstein evidence, and it was there by 8 a.m. yesterday. We covered that the person in charge of that that specific FBI office in New York was given the option to either resign or be fired, and he resigned. So I thought that hopefully we see something in about a week or so. I'm going to give him enough time to go through a truckload of stuff. And again, I don't want to be disappointed. But that's about it. Just a whole lot of what we've already talked about. And Gavin Newsom has issued an executive order to hire former federal workers after they were fired by the Trump administration. You can't hate California politics enough. I live here. I love the state. It is beautiful. It is like 60 degrees outside, partially sunny. I just love everything, the climate. I live in a conservative area, but this kind of stuff. We are letting go of employees that we did not need, employees that were not very efficient. And what does Gavin Newsom do? Issue an executive order to hire them. And we're in a big deficit, by the way, a budget deficit, if you guys didn't know here. All right, guys. Hey, do not forget, what time is it? In about 5 hours, a little less than 5 hours, we are going to be live on our next show. We're not going to be doing an afternoon. We are going to be covering President Trump and his address to the United States, the State of the Union address. So make sure you're following, make sure you're on here, make sure you got your notifications turned on. Look about 5:30. We'll probably go earlier because there'll probably be some stuff I want to cover beforehand. So I want to say thank you for all you guys that have tuned in. Don't forget, it is the beginning of the month. We got phone bills, we got data bills, we got all our bills to pay. We are 100% viewer funded. If you want to help out, we appreciate you. You can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. Or if you prefer to use Zelle and you do Zelle transfers, you can go to our website, which is theoreoexpress.com. Theoreoexpress.com. Again, bills come, and it's all thanks to your blessings that we can travel, pay the services, pay all these things. And I want to say thank you for the blessings. If you can help, we would appreciate it. You always know this time of the month is tight for us. So, but we will see you here a little later. Want to say thank you, and God bless you all for tuning in. Please hit that thumbs up button on the way out, and we'll see you a little later this afternoon.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.